So why are we here? 50 years after Selma and the North Shore Summer Project, we're here to call for a new call to action. We're here to commemorate the Selma March, the North Shore Summer Project, and Martin Luther King's speech right here on this green 50 years ago. We are here to continue the march, the work that was begun so many years ago. We are here to launch a grassroots movement to inspire communities to become welcoming, inclusive, and diverse, and to provide a framework for them to do so. And this is such a wonderful cause and such a wonderful beginning. There are so many people who have been a part of making this happen. They've been providing information to talk with you about welcoming communities. If you need to register to vote, there's places for you to vote, to register to vote. So before I introduce, I want to just introduce the final speaker. I think that's it. I'm trying to make sure I had all my instructions together. But the final speaker for tonight is William McNary, who I happen to know very well. And I'm very honored to introduce William McNary to you. He's worked for the public interest for 25 years. He's worked as a lobbyist on behalf of the public interest in both the Illinois General Assembly and in the United States Congress. In 2000, he became co-director of Citizen Action Illinois. Mr. McNary serves as a board member for Public Campaign, the Center for Tax and Budget Accountability, and Women's Voices, Women Vote. In addition, he served as the president of U.S. Action, the largest national coalition of progressive organizations, from 1999 to 2012. He holds a degree in journalism from the University of Iowa. If you could please help me welcome Bill McNary.
Thank you, Sheila. Good afternoon. My mom always told me you can tell what kind of a crowd you're standing in front of by the way they greet friends or the way they greet strangers when they greet you. So let's try that again. Good afternoon. Now that's more like it. You all do my mama proud. As Citizen Action, we say there are three kinds of people. There are people that make things happen. There are people that watch things happen. And then there are people that don't know what's happening. I can't think of any place else in the world I would rather be on a Sunday afternoon than right here on the historic Winnetka Village Green in a crowd full of aggressive progressives. People who are not just content to spectate or speculate or postulate or pontificate about life, but people who are active participants in the movement for social justice and social change. Democracy is a verb, not a noun. And I truly believe, because you all are gathered here this afternoon, our nation's citizens to be, and yes, even our nation's immigrants will all breathe freer because of the work that Open Communities has done, is doing, but most importantly, what you all are getting ready to do. Are you all hungry for justice? Y'all hungry for justice? Y'all hungry for justice? Well, as we get ready to set the table for justice, why don't you celebrate yourself with a great big round of applause? Let Barack and Michelle and Malia and Sasha and Bo and Sonny hear you all the way at the White House. The late former president of South Africa, the great Nelson Mandela, taught us a concept in Africa known as Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the profound sense that we are only human through the humanity of others. That if we are to accomplish anything in this world, it will be in equal measure due to the work and achievement of others. In other words, we all do better when we all do better. Dr. King expressed the concept of Ubuntu this way. He said, we are caught up in a single network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. What affects one of us directly affects all of us indirectly. Ubuntu, we all do better when we all do better. Next month it will be 52 years ago that the momentous 1963 March on Washington took place. And it was at this march where Dr. King delivered his most famous and celebrated speeches, the I Have a Dream speech that the young man did earlier. And it's easy to think of King as some casual dreamer if you're younger than 47 years old, because he died in 1968 when he was 39. So as we reflect and commemorate on the life of Dr. King, let us remember not only did he inspire us, but he marched for his beliefs. He sat in for his beliefs. In Alabama, he went to jail for his beliefs. In Chicago, he was hit in the head with a rock for his beliefs. And in Memphis, on a hotel balcony, he was assassinated for his beliefs. I'm merely pointing out that Dr. King was not just some idealistic dreamer. He fought to make his dreams a reality. He was a gallant fighter for civil rights, and we all know that there would not be a Civil Rights Act or a Voting Rights Act without his leadership. But the very last fight that Dr. King fought was the fight to unionize garbage workers in Memphis. The reason he was in Memphis was to support underpaid city garbage workers who were demanding the city recognize their right to organize and join a union. So as we ready to commemorate the 52nd anniversary of the March on Washington, and we commemorate his 50th appearance here in Winnetka, let's remember that it was a march for jobs and freedom. Economic rights were just as central to Dr. King's vision as civil and social and political rights. And so the struggle for economic justice continues. One definition of democracy should be shared prosperity. It should be for everyone and not just the wealthy few. Ubuntu. We all do better. If we all do better. Lastly, if we are to move to a more just America, we must win over the hearts and minds of the American people. And this battle has to be bigger than scoring political points. It's got to be bigger than partisan politics. This has to be a battle for the soul of our nation. And we should not reduce this battle to how much money did I make in the last 5 minutes and how much can I make in the next 5. I got mine and you get yours. We need to reaffirm the basic American ideal that yes, we are responsible for ourselves, but we're also responsible for each other. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. Ubuntu. We all do better. When we all do better. The only way that we can do it is if we stick together and not be divided. Black against white. Citizen against immigrants. Union workers against non-union workers. Straight against gay. How cruel. How cynical. How divisive. Let us recommit ourselves to knitting the inescapable garment of destiny that Dr. King talked about. Because we're all a part of the same community. And we all pay a price when there's injustice in that community. It's time that we use our strength in numbers so that we all can share in the American dream. People have this romantic view of social justice movements. Take the civil rights movement. If you have a romantic view, you'll think that Rosa Parks sat on the front of the bus, Martin Luther King gave a speech, and then black people got free. Come on now. That discounts the thousands and thousands and thousands of people of all races who struggled too valiantly, who bled too profusely, who died prematurely for freedom's cause. And so I need you all to be a part of the movement, Ordinary People in Motion. Be a part of the Volunteers for the Justice teams to organize the efforts in the 16 North Shore communities. That's your charge. I close with the last words. This is I'm about a Baptist. I've closed more than one, but this is my final close, I guarantee you. I close with the last words of Dr. King's very last speech. I didn't understand it as much when I was 15 years old, but I do understand it now. He said, "Let us rise up tonight with a greater readiness. Let us stand with a greater determination. And let us move in these powerful days, these days of challenge, to make America what it ought to be. We have an opportunity to make a better nation. And I want to thank God once more for allowing me to be here with you. I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now because I have been to the mountaintop and I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place, but I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He has allowed me to go up to the mountain, and I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you tonight, but I want you to know that we as a people will get to the promised land, and I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. King said it then, I believe it now. So let the record reflect that on this day, Sunday, July 26, 2015, a group of justice-seeking, truth-telling, peace-loving, problem-solving, hell-raising, freedom-loving advocates and advocates came together and rededicated themselves to build a beloved community, an America that creates good-paying jobs, educates our children, tends to our sick, frees our prisoners, pays our bills, saves our planet, protects the middle class and those struggling to get into the middle class, and studies war, no more Ubuntu. We all do better when we all do better. Today we commemorate, tomorrow we